This is the Ninja FlexFlame PG301, a 5-in-1 outdoor cooking system that mixes propane burners with an electric convection fan. The first thing that hit me was how much it feels like a smart kitchen appliance that happens to live outside. Stainless lid, digital display, big cast iron grates, and a cabinet base that hides the propane tank. It's a full-size grill with a good-looking two-tone finish. Not a portable gadget. I put it together myself in about an hour. Lifting the head onto the cart took 2 hands and a careful stance. At around 130 pounds overall, it's sturdy. The packaging and hardware labeling made the process straightforward, and the finished cart felt solid with no wobble. I like the cool touch handle and how the hood opens smoothly. The control panel is angled so I can read temps without crouching. I'd call the build quality a mix of premium and practical. Heavy porcelain enamel cast iron grates and a stainless hood with plastic nods and trim that feel consumer grade. The side shelves are spacious enough for big platters. Key features that stood out to me: 3 stainless burners under 424 square inches of cooking space, a high-velocity cyclonic fan, and digital temperature control from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. It runs on a 20-pound propane tank for heat and 120-volt power for the fan, controller, and ignition. That dual-fuel setup is the core idea. Propane gives you the BTUs, and the fan moves the heat like a turbocharged oven. There's also a small pellet box for smoke. Ninja calls the whole approach cyclonic heat IQ, which basically means the fan blasts hot air evenly across the food so the edges cook like the center. From my experience, the performance is fast. With the lid down, I saw 500 degrees Fahrenheit in just over 6 minutes, which changes how I cook on weeknights. Opening the lid to flip food drops the temp for a moment, but the fan recovers heat quickly. It's also loud. I'd compare the sound to a beefy HVAC unit. Not subtle, but I accepted the trade-off because of the speed and consistency. Grilling results are legit. Those cast iron grates hang on to heat and give steaks deep, dark grill marks. Smash burgers on the griddle accessory browned edge to edge. Chicken wings crisped up evenly, without me chasing hot zones. In my opinion, that uniformity is the best part of this system. The fan turns the chamber into what feels like a giant air fryer crossed with a gas grill, so food browns while staying juicy inside. The quick crisp roaster. Preset delivered a roast chicken with glossy skin and tender meat faster than I expected from a traditional grill. Ignition is the most fussy step. You push and turn the dial to spark the burners, and sometimes I had to repeat it with a little patience. I got used to it, but I miss the confident whoosh of a purely mechanical igniter. Once the flame is going, the digital control does fine. Smoking is where the hybrid nature shows both promise and limits. The pellet box is easy to load with a small scoop. When it behaves, the fan pushes smoke through the chamber and gives food a nice kiss of flavor. I've done cold smoked cheese with the burners off and fan on, and it worked far better than I expected from a gas grill. But the pellet box is small, and during long cooks, I had to refill every 30 to 45 minutes. I've also had pellets flare into a little torch instead of smoldering. That kind of fire makes thick, harsh smoke and can ruin delicate food. My workarounds: use fewer pellets, leave the box closed so it starves for oxygen, and aim for shorter smoke windows for things like ribs or wings. For brisket or all-day barbecue, I'd still use a dedicated smoker. It's perfect for someone who wants a hint of smoke without babysitting a full pellet rig. But it won't replace an offset or a large pellet cooker for low and slow purists. Pizza was a highlight. With the optional stone, I set the temp to around 550 degrees Fahrenheit and cooked 16-inch pies in roughly 6 to 7 minutes. The bottom crisped, the cheese bubbled, and I didn't have to rotate the pizza constantly. That top-down airflow evens out the bake in a way standalone pizza ovens don't always manage. The downsides I ran into are worth mentioning. The power situation is awkward. The factory cord is very short, so a 3-prong outdoor extension is mandatory. I clip the connection under the shelf and run it to a GFCI outlet, but I still don't love having a cord near a grill body. Also, this unit needs electricity to operate. If the power is out, it won't function as a dumb gas grill. I did see an E9 error once early on and had to contact support. They handled it quickly, which made me feel better. But the reliance on electronics is a long-term consideration. Grease management needs attention. The main tray is easy to pull from the cabinet, but on a few cooks I saw grease slipping off the internal frame and dripping near the front legs instead of the tray. I placed a foil guide inside to nudge drippings where they belong, and put a mat under the cart. I also keep the drip tray clean because with that strong airflow, flare-ups ramp fast if you let grease build up. Cleaning overall takes a touch more care because I don't hose this down. I scrape the grates, wipe the fan shield, and use degreaser on the interior walls. On the practical side, the cart rolls fine on smooth patio concrete, but small casters can struggle on uneven pavers or grass. The cabinet is handy for the propane tank and a few tools, though the full griddle plate is a tight fit. The handle stays cool, which I appreciate when running it near 600 degrees Fahrenheit. The cooking area is large enough for family cookouts. Think 3 whole chickens, a couple racks of ribs, or a big batch of burgers, so I don't feel cramped. In my opinion, the FlexFlame is about speed, control, and versatility. It grills beautifully, roasts evenly, bakes pizza like a pro, and gives you light smoke flavor on demand. The trade-offs are fan noise, pellet box babysitting if you're chasing long smokes, and the fact that it must be plugged in. If you're expecting a pure smoker, you might be disappointed. If you want a do-everything outdoor cooker that handles weeknight meals and weekend projects with minimal fuss, it hits the mark. From my experience, a few simple habits make it shine. Preheat fully to let the grates store heat. Use an outdoor-rated extension cord. Keep the grease system clean, and treat the pellet box as a flavor booster rather than a primary fire source. I also recommend a cover and a grill mat to protect the patio. I recommend this for busy cooks who want predictable results, people who love the idea of an air fryer meets gas grill, and anyone who wants to roast, griddle, and make pizza without buying separate appliances. It's perfect for families that want fast dinners during the week, then switch to ribs or pizza on the weekend. If you're a die-hard low and slow pitmaster, this should be your secondary grill, not your only one. In conclusion, the Ninja FlexFlame PG301 delivers consistent heat, fast preheats, and a surprisingly even cook across the entire grate. The digital control gives you clarity instead of guesswork. The fan noise and electrical tether are real, and the pellet smoke box rewards a hands-on approach. But when it comes to grilling, roasting, and pizza, the results speak for themselves. I'm keeping it as my main weeknight cooker and a very capable all-rounder. If you found this helpful, hit subscribe, drop your questions or your own FlexFlame tips in the comments, and I'll try to cover them in a future video. Thank you for watching.